is not a controversial point in the Whovian fan base, then I don't know what is. So, if you are a Doctor Who fan, you know that yesterday it was announced that Jodie Whittaker would be playing the part of the 13th Doctor. The 14th face, the 15th incarnation, and the first woman incarnation of the role. And it may as well be the Skyrim Civil War in the fan base right now, because of how torn it is. I'm not really shocked that it's like this. But I'm shocked as to what people are saying about it. People are saying, oh, it's the 7th Doctor all over again. Doctor Who history will repeat itself and it'll get cancelled. And other people are saying, this is going against tradition. The Doctor has to be male. And I'm not going to say that's not possible. It's always a possibility that Doctor Who can get cancelled at any point. But at the same time, saying that it's because we have a female Doctor is kind of ridiculous. And like, one of my reasons for that is you haven't even seen how Jodie Whittaker is going to be doing this role just yet. You haven't even seen that. And yet you're already making this judgment of, oh, we have a woman Doctor, it's going to get cancelled. Everyone thought Matt Smith was too young, and Capaldi was too old. And I'm going to be honest, those two are far more reasonable than, oh, it's a woman, she can't do the role. And it's not like it's impossible. We've already seen the General regenerates into a woman, and it's apparently her normal gender was apparently a female, and she became a male during the Time War. And we know that the Master became Missy, and who knows what's going to happen with that character next. But all of a sudden, if it's with the Doctor, there's a problem. But I'm not really getting that at all. Gender is not something that's really that important when it comes to who should play the Doctor. For me, acting ability should be determined. Acting ability should be what's focused on more than anything else. Gender put aside, ethnicity put aside, nationality. While I do agree with the majority of the fan base that he should stay British, I feel like that should just be the predominant. And there should be, every once in a while, there's a non-British Doctor. Not a major thing where every regeneration is a different nationality. I don't want that. But I do feel like every once in a while there should be like this little time where he's not British. Because we've seen him as English, we've seen him as Scottish. But what if there was a time where, I don't know, let's say John Noble takes over the role and you get an Australian? Would everyone all of a sudden say, oh, he's an Australian, he can't play the role, he's not British? Would everyone say that? I hope not. But I wouldn't be surprised. And I know for a fact, like, the fan base would be absolutely outraged if an American decided to take the role. But I feel like every once in a while there should be one of those. Every once in a while we should have a female. We should have multiple ethnicities. It's a lottery. You mean to tell me that every single time he always ends up being a white British guy when the regeneration is a lottery? Choosing the role isn't a lottery. That's very much specific. But the regeneration has been called a lottery several times. And if all the DNA changes, you would think that at some point a Y chromosome would get turned into an X chromosome, assuming that Time Lords have X and Y chromosomes the same way humans do. But there's our in-universe thing, that regeneration is a lottery, so having a female incarnation is pretty much justified in-universe, especially because we've seen Time Lords change genders. As for outside universe, this has been discussed ever since the classic era. They even discussed what if the next Doctor was a woman during the classic era. It's just not happened until now, and everyone is having a fit about it, or at least half the fan base is. And they're not really giving a definitive reason. Goes against tradition isn't all that definitive. And it getting canceled isn't really that definitive because you can't say or decide that until you've seen them act. Everyone thought Matt Smith was too young, again. But that's a little bit more reasonable than, oh, she's a woman, she can't do it. Matt Smith being too young was something that made everyone think he couldn't do it. And he is one of the most popular incarnations now. A lot of people thought Capaldi was too old. Personally, I didn't, because I know that older people have taken over the role. And Capaldi is my current favorite Doctor. Who knows, Jodie might take over as my favorite. But to say that you're going to just quit, because I know I've seen a lot of people say they're just not going to watch the show now because of a female Doctor, that is just ridiculous. There's no way around that. There's no way around that being ridiculous. There just isn't. There isn't any way around that. You're just being a little bit ridiculous. Just throwing that out there. Just a little bit ridiculous. You can't make this definitive judgment until you've seen how Jodie Whittaker is going to play this role. And because we only just now found out that she was announced, you can't really say anything. You can't. You can say you don't like the idea, but to say that you're just going to quit just because there's a female Doctor? Again, ridiculous. This has gone on not exactly how I wanted it to go, but I never script these videos anyways. It's not a matter of gender or ethnicity, and not so much of a matter of nationality, though predominantly British is preferred. It's just acting ability. You have to focus on acting ability, otherwise it's pretty ridiculous to make a judgment. I've heard good things about Jodie Whittaker's acting ability. That's all I've heard about her acting ability so far. I've never seen her act personally. I've never watched, like, Broadchurch, even though I know she's on that. But it was bound to happen eventually. There was no way around this happening, I don't think. I've run out of things to say at this point, because I've said everything that needs to be said. You're judging before you get to see how she plays the role. You're making the judgment just because she's a woman and not the tradition. It's pretty ridiculous, and there's, like, not much of a way around it being ridiculous. You can't really get your way out of that. If your judgment is solely because she's a woman, then that sounds like a you problem. We're going to have her for probably 3 seasons. That's what we have every Doctor for nowadays, is 3 seasons. So we're just going to have to go with it. There's nothing we can do for three seasons. My point, despite all that rambling, my point is, just give Jodie Whittaker a chance. If you're going to say she's a female, it goes against tradition, the show will get canceled, only because she's female, and you're not even giving her a chance to show what she can do, then how are you even calling yourself a fan of the show at all? I mean, even I, as someone who, it's going to seem off topic at first, but I'm going to bring it back to this. As someone who is a fan of Ben 10, I gave the Ben 10 reboot a chance, even though it looked terrible, and I still don't like it. It had a few good episodes here and there, but I'm not a big fan of it, but I gave it a chance. I wasn't sure, and I gave it a chance. You might not like the idea of a female doctor, but you can't make any good definitive judgment about the 13th Doctor until you give her a chance. That's just it. So since we're going against the norm with doctors anyways, let's say Jodie does stay for the 3 seasons, and let's say it is 1 season a year. In about 3 years, I might just pop over to Cardiff. And, see about doing a little auditioning over there. If you catch my drift on this. Might not sure. We'll see. This went on far longer than I wanted it to, but just wanted to go ahead and get everything. I'll probably chop a lot of this out because there were some empty, silent moments in there. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts on a female doctor are. If you think Jodie Whittaker's going to do good, if you think she's going to do bad, at least give a reason why that isn't she's a woman, because at least then I'll have a higher respect for your opinion than other than just she's a woman, because that's really not a good opinion at all. So, anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Do I want to do this? Do I? Yeah, I do.
If I bleed tonight